Welcome to Double Barrel Non-Duality. We do this once a month for sustaining members and above. Every month I have a different co-facilitator or co-host. This month it is Maria Schonfeld. Do you want to say hi?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Pumped to be here. Honored.
Thanks for being here.
I'm excited.
All
I'm
right.
ready to get my mind blown by everyone else's wisdom, mostly, I think.
Yeah, me too. All right. So the simple way to do this is put your hand up, which I think is at the bottom of your screen here under, I think, React. There's a way to put your hand up. So once you put your hand up, I will call on you in no particular order. Um, and then we'll get rolling. Once I call on you, I will put something in so that you can unmute yourself. Once you unmute yourself, keep yourself unmuted through the entire conversation, or else I won't realize it and I'll have to do it again. um, and we'll go from there. So let's start with Jennifer.
Hi, Angelo. Hi, everybody.
Hey, how you doing, darling?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Oh, yeah, I have this feels like nervous energy. I've had ample opportunity over the last 2 weeks to feel and express lots of anger. And it's interesting because I don't know how to do it right. Um, I got really triggered in the circling and expressed some of that anger. I got really upset at work and like I didn't even express it I didn't even shove it towards anybody. I just called my friend and vented and yelled for 5 minutes. And the resistance to it is just so much. I feel it's like this toxicity going out into the world, and I don't like it. I don't like it because um so it scares me, and I don't know, like, and I know the fear and the resistance is where I need to go. Um, but then I know I need to sit here and feel it, but then just like expressing myself feels wrong. I know, like, you probably know what I'm talking about, but it's just, I so want to address it, but I'm so scared to have a voice. Like, I want to go hide. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maria, did you want to start or would you like me to?
Um, you start
Okay.
with, yeah.
Jennifer,
Hi.
hello. Um, what are you scared of? Like specifically, why are you scared to express the anger?
That I will push people away and be lonely, be by myself.
Has that happened before for you? Through the mechanism of expressing anger?
No, because
Okay.
I normally don't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes if we're the type of person, I'm like you, who is much less likely to express anger, hold it in or just feel it myself or absorb other people's stuff. Um, what happens is if we start to move toward giving ourselves permission to express it, we overestimate the harm of it or we overestimate the effect. But it's like you're so far on one end of that spectrum. Like there are people who cause harm through anger all the time. That's like they just can't get out of the anger mode. And it's not just anger, it's anger plus blame, and that's destructive. But like if we're on this end of the spectrum and you move a little bit toward that and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna be over there, it's like, no, you're not. You're not even close. You know what I'm saying? Like you even said that you didn't take it out on anybody at work. You in the circle, I'm sure you didn't take it out on anybody. Specifically, that didn't give you permission to, right? That's what they do. It's a lot of times. They're like, bring it on, we can handle it. So yeah, those are just instances where you're giving yourself some safe space to start to process the anger. But what I want to say is like, can you give yourself permission to mobilize whatever you need to mobilize? It may be anger, and then in the next minute, it may be something else. But can you just find a way to give yourself permission to mobilize whatever energies you need to mobilize? Or do you think is that something you can do right now? And if not, that's okay. We can look at that too.
Yeah, I think so. Um, I work from home. I'm by myself a lot. So I think it's interesting that I feel that like I'm putting something out into the world that is bad even when no one's around.
Hmm.
And even in the past when I've expressed my anger, I feel so guilty, and then people will kind of laugh at me. It's
Hmm.
kind of like, oh, you're so cute when you're angry,
Hmm. Yeah.
which pisses me off. Uh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you looked into what really caused you to suppress your anger
Yeah,
earlier on?
yeah, yeah, I definitely know that. My mother was a rager. Uh,
Yep. Of course. I mean,
yeah, that,
I didn't know that, but I knew that
yeah,
before you said it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that at home and in public, so that really made me scared.
And that was destructive, right?
Right? Yeah,
The way she did it was destructive. But you took the opposite pole, right? You became the one who didn't get angry. You're the one who, froze or absorbed it or whatever you did, whatever you had to do, fawning, whatever.
yeah,
And so you're on the other pole of that, but you remember the destruction. But that wasn't your responsibility, right? That destruction that she caused or the harm she caused through it wasn't anything you did.
mhm.
Can you fully register that? Because as a child, we take everything on as our own fault.
Yeah, I can now. I just
Good.
guess I'm at the point where I'm not fully comfortable or feel safe enough. Um, yeah.
Hmm. What do you need to feel safe?
I feel like the community, yeah, here is great. Like people who are open and not judgmental. Um, like in a setting like this where we all know why we're here. But when I'm out in the real world, it's just no. So maybe I need practice in a safe space.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, and the anger, like if we use the archetypal models, like anger is the gateway emotion for the warrior archetype, right? But the warrior is not all anger. The warrior is also boundaries, stamina, um, effective communication, and um, yeah, confidence, right? A lot of those things. And so sometimes we have to mobilize that kind of repressed anger that maybe needed to be mobilized, maybe it needed to be expressed as a child, but it couldn't because it didn't have a safe space at all. But that's not really where it lands usually. Where it lands is starting to feel like that's why I said, are you willing to let whatever needs to mobilize? Because the anger is probably just like it's like the finger in the dike or something like that. It's like the cork. When you let the cork out, other stuff's going to come. And part of our fear may just be, the surface levels, like, I don't want to hurt anybody. And that's true. But you also know like, obviously, you haven't hurt anybody through anger probably in your life, not in a very real way, I would imagine. So, what part of that fear is also underneath is the fear of the unknown, as always. We don't know what else is going to come, right? If I start to mobilize the anger, if I start mobilizing whatever needs to be mobilized, if I start really moving from my emotional instincts, I don't know what that'll look like. I really don't. I can't. How can you know, right? If that cork's been in that long. So some of it is just giving yourself permission again and again to mobilize what you need to mobilize. You're already doing some of it through dance and, you know, you're willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to put yourself in the circle. Like that's not easy. So you're doing so much already and you give yourself credit for that. I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You know, sometimes it's just like a little bit of momentum, you know, just like one more step, and all of a sudden things are going to free up more. That's what I feel for you, or I feel with you, is things are going to start to just mobilize more. But just stay in that exploration, the curiosity, what needs to mobilize, what wants to move right now, what wants to be felt and said. You don't even have to say it to anybody, but keep giving yourself permission to mobilize whatever's been sort of repressed in that emotion body. And it's going to continue to express through creativity and through warrior energy and through magician energy and all of it. Does that
Thank you.
track?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does.
Hmm.
Because even in my expression with dance and poetry, that's a struggle. So
Hmm.
like just having the voice, and I feel like I'm practicing more.
Hmm.
But
Good.
maybe just explore, like you said, with the curiosity.
Yeah. And also with curiosity, you can always say like, because I mean, you do put yourself out there. I see it. You put yourself out there. You take risks. You're vulnerable. You're willing to do that. That's great. But just in my own experience, like it's an ongoing process forever. Like it's like what's the next thing maybe I'm not quite seeing? Like is there something else that hasn't quite mobilized? And maybe there isn't, but let me just give it permission. I don't know what it is. I'm willing to be surprised. I'm willing to be curious, try something new, feel something new. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're awesome, Jennifer. I have a lot of
Um,
love for you. Maria's going to say something too.
yeah, I did just want to say like uh I think emotional repression like is actually just the fear of emotions, obviously. And so for me, it's always like, how many different places can I kind of warm up the room so that anger can kind of take its jacket off? And so one of the things that I do quite often, even though I've seen through where the anger came from, I'll just sit down and I'll kind of collect every single thought around what's scary about expressing it. So be like, if I expressing anger is dangerous because, and then I just go and I'd let the kind of 5-year-old speak all of the thoughts, like, and I can have heard them 1,000 times before for myself, but there's something because fear thrives in like nebulousness. And so to get really granular and really clear, like what are the actual fears of this child? And it's usually like they'll reject me, they'll abandon me. And so kind of seeing that and then just looking, okay, is that thought true? No. Is that thought true? No. Is that thought true? And also seeing, oh yeah, these are all just thoughts. So kind of that seems to soften things a little bit for me. Yeah, I don't know if that's helpful, but
That's
uh,
very helpful. Yes, I like warming up the room. Thank you.
yeah, and because what you said about the safety of the group, really like I really get that. And I think creating kind of safe feeling rituals for your own psyche and for your own child, because just expressing anger obviously feels very scary for the organism. So, like, what can I do to make it feel safer? And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you. Okay. We're going to jump to the middle. This is John J.
Hello.
Hey, John J.
It's my first time here. I've watched these on YouTube a lot. They've been
Welcome.
very, very useful. I'm really happy to have been able to make it today. Um, I've been really working on, I guess, like Fetter 6, subject object. I I feel like I feel like I really have this sort of deep knowing that this is an illusion. But if I look across the room right now at a plant or something, it really does. It really feels over there. Um, just as honest as I can be about like what's going on here, despite if, however long I've been doing this, I can't. I know it's not over there. right? In a way, and I can't really. It's not just like conceptually. I know it's not over there. That's where it started. I, I, I feel like it's just it's some very thin something. I know it's happening really fast. It's happening. I know it's happening really fast. I haven't found a way to slow this down enough to get the edge of it and start
Mm.
peeling it. And I've had a lot of experiences of really just being fully in the visual field and then having sound not be anywhere at the same time, things like that. But I also watched, you had that really great video recently about experience versus the realization. And I don't want to, I'm trying my best not to get it, but those experiences are so good. I kind of want, I really, that's the other thing that's going on here is I really want this. And I want, yeah, so there.
I feel you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Maria, do you have anything to start with, or would you like me to start? Or
I mean, for me, I've been on this path for a long time, and I've had a lot of kind of opening experiences, and then they go away, and then I get really frustrated because it does feel so good. And at a certain point, I started asking myself, like, why is it so important for that fetter to drop? What do I think I'm gonna get? What do I want? Like, and just kind of what does it mean about me if I get it? And it all sounds kind of basic, but that did drop the defenses a little bit, and then it kind of stopped mattering because for me it really is like the organism kind of unwinds in its own time and with its own capacity. And then I was kind of like, okay, well, now that that pressure's gone, maybe I can kind of just find the that within myself, within my own experiences, within my own sensations, and just brought a more of a curiosity to the other thing that was also happening, which was this kind of self sense that was still, and just exploring that a bit more. Yeah, so I don't know if that's helpful, but
Yeah, that's helpful. I'm curious can you give me a sense of what you found when you asked those questions?
I think there was a lot around still thinking that I was going to get something from awakening, that it was going to give me some kind of peace, some
Mhm.
kind of escape from the kind of rawness of the moment, however it shows up.
Mhm.
That's what yeah,
Thank you.
you're
I
welcome.
think that's go
Sorry,
ahead,
go ahead.
Maria. Sorry.
Well, I was wondering what, if you kind of ask yourself that, and maybe it's not for now, but do you sense anything for you?
I, I think I think I want it has something to do with like figuring out the way it really is or something like or something like wanting to get in on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun
uh,
club, right? It seems like a fun club. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And once you're in, what will you get?
I think I think I do have a sincere desire to sort of to really see everything as it is. That's a big part of what sort of led me down all of this was, I kept digging and digging and I didn't find a first principle. I didn't find the base truth of anything. I just um and I think there's still a part, maybe there's a part of me that believes that there's still some base truth about the way things are that I could get to if I could just get through this. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind, or one of the things that comes to mind.
Yeah. And maybe it's also about seeing that the the thing that's right here is someone still believing they need to see something. Like maybe taking a step back, maybe that's what's also really here. Maybe it's a little bit more mundane. I don't know.
Sounds right.
Because the whole thing around like needing to know is that's just all mind thought stuff, you know? It's like and like can that be okay?
Yeah, that can be here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely feels like there's something here that can know this.
Maybe it's already knowing it.
Yeah.
Good. Stay with that. Stay with it. Stay with it. Good. Hmm. Yep. Stay right there. Just let it go. Let it go. Yeah. You don't need to hold on to anything here. Just let it move through. Hmm. Yeah. Stay right in there. Don't try to land. It's not about feeling good or not feeling good. It's not about landing anywhere. And it's not about finding a base truth. It's also not about being in on anything. Letting go of all that. Stay right here. Hmm. Yep. Just let it show you. Good. Hmm. Hmm. And just see if there's anything left that's pushing against anything at all. Any resistance at all. Just let that go.
Uh,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm. Just let it go. Hmm. Good. Good. Feel that body. Feel that energy. It's just energy. Good. Open your eyes. Look across the room. What do you see? Just tell me what you see. with no agendas at all.
I see a big plant.
Yeah. How's that plant feel?
Uh, doesn't really. I there.
Hmm. Where's the boundary between there and here?
Ugh,
Does that mean you can't find a boundary?
I can't find that.
Right. That's right. Because you don't have any agendas here. Not trying to get somewhere else or to some idealized state. Not trying to be in on anything. Let those filters go and just see the scene, just the scene. You can't paint it into a good memory of like, oh, it was so great back then. It's not back then, it's right here. You can only see it right here. That's its innocence. And that's where you meet in innocence. It can only be seen through the lens of innocence. See that. Keep seeing that. Let it show you. It's not a strategy. It's not an inquiry. Let it show you. Feel the innocence.
Not really anything to it, is there?
No, no.
Like, there's nothing in it that.
Hmm. Is there objectness in it somehow?
It's not
No.
telling me
That's
what
right.
it is or anything.
That's right. Now, isn't that beautiful?
Ugh.
You're free. You're free from having to have that be an object because that means you have to be a subject. It's freeing you. This has never been about you. And there's so much freedom in that.
Yeah.
That's how you do this. It's not a doing, but it's a total surrender to that innocence. And everything will show it to you. Literally everything is going to show it to you now.
Been looking at that plant for so long.
It's been your guru staring at you the whole time going, "Come on. Come on. Quit thinking I'm a plant."
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, man.
Oh,
Thanks, Maria. That was masterful.
yeah, thank you, Maria.
You're welcome. It was beautiful to watch. Thank you. And also just to remind you that the surrender comes from the inclusion. Like I think on the kind of the non-dual path, it feels like there's something we need to like annihilate. But it was when you step back and you really saw you as a part of it that something relaxed.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah, yeah.
tenderness,
I was really trying to keep myself out of this.
right? Yeah. And the
Yeah.
warmth, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I really believed that I had to get me out of this.
Isn't that funny? The me, like that's how the sense of separate self gets so reified in some strange way.
Oh, it's always doing that, man.
It's like there's also a warmth that comes in and a tenderness. And that's how I can tell when I've like left myself or when I've kind of included everything again. It's just that, oh, it's warm. Like it's tender. I'm allowed as I am. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some lyrics in a song by Crosby, Stills, and Nash that says, "The night is clearing. No, the sky is clearing, and the night has cried enough. A new day, new way, new eyes to see the dawn." I might have mixed up the order of the lyrics, but go your way, I'll go mine and carry on. The sun, he come, the world to soften up. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, my friend.
Thank you.
Take care. Let's go to Marcus.
Hi, Angelo and Maria and
Hello.
John. John, thank you for that. Um, yeah, so I feel like I'm going to repeat a few things from other double barrels, but I'll try to be brief about it. So I spent, 50 some years totally dissociated from my body. And a few years ago, things started to thaw out, and I've done a lot of work with somatic therapy and TRE and just um, open body awareness meditation. And for 2 years, I had really intense, like machine gun rhythm kriyas every time I sat down to meditate. So, like, just from beginning to end. And it was actually last double barrel, Angelo, you worked with me, kind of the way you just work with John. And for the first time in 2 years, those kriyas stopped. And it felt like I now have an even deeper access to the body. Um, Feels like there's still a long way to go, but it's just like every day, just like a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper. Um, there's a lot still of escaping from the body. I guess that's what's happening into thought. And it's pretty rapid cycling. It's like 20 seconds in the body, 20 seconds lost in thought, 20 seconds in the body, just cycling. And it's muddier than that. It's like when I'm lost in thought, there's still some body awareness. When I'm in the body, there's still the pull into thought, but it's just about like which is more prominent for that part of the loop. Um, this somatic work, whether I do it in therapy or in meditation or whatever, seems so potent to me. And whereas every other work that I've done, whether it's trying to do like single pointed approaches or inquiry, has been really hard, really hard. And I get either distracted into thought or I get distracted by body sensations from it. So if I'm trying to do inquiry at the same time, I've got what's going on in the body is so loud, it's up at 11, or I'm just escaping from that into thought. I have an intuition that the work for me right now is just continuing to go deeper in the body and not distracting from that with other kinds of work. But I also I don't know if one can awaken purely through that somatic work or whether I should be spending some time also doing inquiry and some of these other techniques. I also don't know if even if that's true, even if I will need to do that, if right now is not the time to do that. So I've just got some confusion over where to, I guess, place my energy right now, along with this very strong intuition that I guess I don't trust entirely of place it in the body. That's what's calling. So just
Hmm.
continue doing that. So that's my question.
Sure. Yeah, I have a very simple answer, and that is, you know, first of all, good job on what you've done so far. You've made tremendous progress. You have a lot of self-awareness. You have a lot of awareness of where your attention is and what's going on in your body and your mind and all that. And I think your intuition's good. I think you're orienting to your intuition pretty well now. So the answer I'll give you may not be satisfying, or maybe it is. I don't know. Is when you get up in your head about like, should I be doing this or should I be doing that kind of practice? a lot of times that itself is just a little dissociation. It's just a little distraction. The truth of it is, you might decide, I'm just going to put my attention in my body from now on. And then a week later, you might find yourself doing inquiry anyway. So it's not something you have to like really sort out in that way. I think if you just keep moving with your intuition, you'll do the right thing. But go deep into whatever you do. Like really just let yourself saturate into your experience. Just be whatever you're curious about, go there. Just, and the only other thing I'll add is try not to narrow focus too much. Like really just wherever you go, if you're in the body, just let it be the most open experience of body. I think that's the most helpful. Sometimes it can be helpful to really narrow your attention into one part of the body here and there and all this sort of thing. But by and large, for me, it's like if you put your attention into a sense gate, like the body sense, this felt sense, and just let it be saturated and open, it'll be like Maria was describing. It's a very warm, deep, rich experience, especially with time and practice. Same in the sound field, and actually the same in consciousness. If it's one thought and your mind's focused on this problem, it's like that's one feeling. But if you just let your consciousness experience like just kind of dilate out into this sort of ocean, it's actually rather pleasant. It's like rather oceanic. It's undifferentiated consciousness. Yeah. So the only adjustment I would say is if you feel like your attention's really narrowing, just relax a little bit, relax that attention outward and just let it kind of take in everything. But I really do feel, honestly, even before you ask the question, like your attunement and your instinct is good. I think you're on the money. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Maria, what you got?
Um, I think it seems clear to me as well that like I almost feel like you kind of know that awakening isn't like a thing and that like actually like and it's kind of a trite thing, but like that you're actually already awake or that it's kind of like in the bag already. And if that is the case, what would you do? Like almost like what kind of feels delicious to like explore the human experience in the way that it's showing up now. And if your intuition is going into the somatic stuff, it's almost like maybe it's also about seeing like instead of saying, okay, I need to do this because I need to get it's like, oh, actually, no, this is where my attention's being pulled because clearly there's something kind of delicious that wants to be felt. Like life wants to express itself somehow through the soma and like allowing the joy of that instead of making it about any kind of finish line, maybe.
I think that's great, great. I will say I'm not at a stage where it's joyful.
I was
It,
actually going to correct
yeah,
myself.
it,
Yeah, yeah,
it's stormy. It's stormy. It's
yeah,
tempestuous, and
yeah,
dynamic. But yeah, I guess
yeah.
it,
No,
it
no.
it is just whatever it is right now.
Well, yeah, and also that like maybe not what feels delicious right now, but like if awakening is just the ever more felt experience of our aliveness, the question could be like, how is that aliveness showing up right now?
Mm,
And that's it. There's nowhere to get. That's the whole experience.
yeah. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thanks.
All right. Let's go to Cowboy Rick.
I am so very grateful that over the last couple of years that things have opened as they have. Um, I can think of people that I met at a retreat, and it just lights me up. And also, I'm still a thinker. I had an image driving up of Geppetto holding the strings, and then when he lets go of the strings, then there's no more trying to be a real boy.
Hmm.
And that was what I began to think of when I had mentioned that I had difficulty doing the kind of inquiry I was asked to do on my before I gave up gurus, and that the inquiry for me is like, what what is surrender? And so I'm wondering, since the thinker is still active, what, if anything, to do about that, or nothing?
Hmm.
I can, well, does the thinker cause you suffering and fear?
Just maybe a little bit occasionally, not much, not as much as it used to.
Mm.
No, not as much. And I find thinking enjoyable, like about quantum dynamics, or, you know, listening to someone like Richard Feynman talk about how a tree isn't what you think it is. And it's kind of like my level of curiosity is just, you know,
Yeah. So is
my
that is
image when I think of that surrender is just like a body just dropping dead.
that's what's come up in your inquiry as the
That's that that's the image. Geppetto was just kind of a fun thing I thought of, and
okay, yeah,
it's like, hey, look at what I thought of. This is kind of neat. What do you think it is? And but that's, yeah, the dropping like that is what.
and does that feel frightening, that image? No. Yeah. So do the maybe the thoughts just exist amidst the openness, kind of as the openness, or
Yeah, they're a, a practice that I've done is something called open focus,
yeah.
and so it talks you through being in spaces rather than, kind of solid. And I've at first it was like driving with an open aperture, and then it was like this dome, driving with kind of this open. It's very pleasant, and it showed me that I didn't need to think for things to get done, and I didn't need to think to be protected. This did it. Literally got me out of accidents that would have been pretty nasty, and they didn't piss me off either. It's like when I was in that space, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Um, I suppose I just have this notion that I should drop the thinker. And
Mm.
at the same time, it's like, wow, it's so nice just to think of Alma and have just,
Yeah. And it's kind of the way that I see thoughts, it's more like a kind of constellation, like it's like the organism kind of remembers an image, and then there's a sensation associated with it, and there's words. So like say you see Alma, there's the image of Alma, there's the words, then the sensations of it, and it's like that's just a fun little trip that belongs to you, right? It's just like
yeah,
a And like that, it sounds to me like that's actually quite lovely.
Feels like someone opened the treasure chest and
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add, Rick. I think what I'm inclined to say is I'm far less concerned whether there are thoughts or not, or to what degree thoughts are even there. You obviously have a way to access and experience thought through the lens, or not even a lens, through the sort of ocean of consciousness. You described it as that practice, um, and that's always available. But I'm more concerned in general with at your stage of things of whether there's resistance. So if at any point there feels like there's resistance in the system, then it can be as simple as asking, "Oh, is there resistance being added here anywhere?" Just a very, very, very open question. And that can show up in a lot of ways. It can show up as thoughts, but like rumination thoughts. It can show up as pain. It can show up as tension
mm,
in the body. It can show up as restlessness. And it's nothing to fix. It's just something that's kind of saying, hey, you pay attention, pay attention to me, or like there's something going on here. Um, if you wanted to add inquiry to it, you could just ask a very simple question: is there anything I'm not accepting right now? That's it. So I'm more attuned to like, is there a bit of resistance in the system? And you don't even have to like stay alert for it necessarily. Usually it'll show itself when you're this clear. Um, and you feel very fluid to me. You feel very like both clear in the masculine and feminine aspect. And yeah, I think you're good. But I would be a little more interested in resistance at this point than anything about thoughts. Yeah.
And
that
also,
sounds like a good inquiry. Is there resistance here?
Yeah. Is there any
And
resistance
show
being
me,
added to the
show
system?
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. And just seeing it at this point, just recognizing the resistance, it often just starts to just give it a bigger space and it kind of works itself out. And maybe some movement comes from it or, whatever, just some attention. Attention is love. Attention is consideration, validation, just attention. Sometimes something just needs it. Right. And then it just kind of works itself out, works itself in both,
Thank you.
finds its natural space. Yeah. You're welcome. Sorry,
Maria,
Maria.
were you going?
Yeah.
oh, the way that I sometimes ask that kind of inquiry question is also like, what is there anything I still believe? Like, is there anything that just feels like kind of unquestionably true? L- And it can be really, subtle things like it's better to be smart than not smart. I don't know, just really things that kind of take for granted. And then the reason I say that and is not to like start believing lots of thoughts again, but because you seem to have an inquisitive mind that enjoys like curiously diving into things. It might be a fun thing to just see like, oh, what is being held in these kind of belief structures and kind of finding a little bit more spaciousness in that as well, just for fun.
Thank you. Mhm. Thank you
Thanks so
both.
much. Thanks, Rick. Great to see you. All right, let's go to the bottom. Let's go to Dakota.
Hi.
Hello.
The last time I was on, oh, hi, Rick. The last time I was on, I forgot that I had my gain set really high. So that was embarrassing, but
It's slightly
uh,
high right now, actually, but I don't
oh,
hear you clipping. I want to turn it down a little bit.
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. This came up because of sort of John's uh like exploration of like what he's trying to get out of it, and also Jennifer's like I can't remember how, but uh I think part of I think part of my desire to wake up is like you always say that someone else said never underestimate the power of delusion, and I
When I say
think
that, I'm
I
quoting myself.
oh, quoting yourself.
Someone might have said it, but I don't know. I don't know. I just have something I've always observed. It's like I think it's important at all stages of everything to just always keep in the back of your mind that delusion can sneak in.
I think I might be like really afraid of delusion. Like that's the reason like I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt people with my like shadow sneaking out sideways and it feels it could be an area I'm forcing, but it's like a control. I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting to bring up to you. So,
Sure. Maria, what you got? You want to say something or shall I start or
Yeah, I mean, my thing, first of all, I'd love to hear how, like, love to put reverb on your mic.
oh,
Turn up the gain and put on some reverb. Let's see what happens. Um, uh, yeah, I guess my question would be what's the worst thing that could happen if you hurt someone? Because
Hmm.
that's often there's like an underworld there of a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different structures. Like, yeah, what so you might hurt someone with your chat, so what? And I'm not saying it's be callous, but it's kind of just to bring up the like, oh
Mhm.
my God, that means that I'm this, they're this, the world is this, and then kind of
Yeah,
look into the validity of that.
I don't know. Some part of me, I think part of it is, it's like I'm a special, like I'm afraid of like reinforcing the walls in people. Like if I put pressure on something that will only reinforce, it's like I know back when I was getting into politics a long time ago, I was like, oh, it's the backfire effect. If you like push people, then they just solidify. So now maybe I see everything through that lens. Like I don't want to like make people more solid and like suffer more. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think there's in all of these things, there's always kind of a genuine, heartfelt
Mhm.
seeing. And it's also like, and there's also always the kind of protective psyche child, because what does it mean about you if people solidify more? Is there, yeah.
Hmm. Maybe I'll be less safe. I was gonna say, well, of course, like me making people more solid and like suffer more would be me being a bad person. But I maybe it's like I'm afraid of. Hold on. I think I still just want to be more awake. I think I'm still strategizing.
How did you get from that question to that? Like, what was the,
Uh, I think I'm still just idolizing people who have walked this path before me and are more empty and can
what,
work
what,
more as
what do they feel that you don't feel right now, do you think?
that question doesn't make sense.
Does it make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
If you, what does an awakened person not feel?
Oh, I would assume resistance. Yeah, I don't know.
what does an awakened person not feel that you don't want to feel?
Yeah.
Not feel.
The specific to you though, like that you don't want to feel either.
Mm, mm. I'm not sure.
Does your body say anything when you ask that question? Does your body light up anywhere or do you feel anything in your body?
Hmm. That actually does light up my stomach.
There you go.
I wonder.
I mean, if nothing else you can take out of this, just ask a question like that and then just go
Hmm.
right to there and stay with it for a while and see what happens. But I didn't want to steal it from Maria. I just found a entry point.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I think to add to the quote, don't underestimate the power of delusion, is it's mostly like, don't underestimate the power of delusion to keep ourselves from feeling like one emotion. One certain emotion that in our family constellation was like not allowed. So grief, rage, and usually we can find out what that is by seeing what emotion we hate the most in other people. Oh, I hate angry people. It's just not okay. Or oh, needy people are so annoying. And just that's a really interesting place maybe.
Hmm. Hmm.
And really like kind of definitely where the system doesn't want to go because it's trying to awaken to not go there. So just be gentle with yourself. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
A good attunement if you really want to get into the weeds with shadow work, or if you feel like, I mean, I wouldn't say this haphazardly. I would say it when you really feel like, okay, I need a, there's something I'm really not seeing, and I'm like walking around it, and I have been for a year, and I really need to get into something. You'll know when that comes. I think anybody will know when that comes. But a question you can ask is, or an attunement or a prayer is like, I want to see what I don't want to see.
Mm.
I want to see about myself what I don't want to see. I want to feel what I don't want to feel. And if you say that, like you're invoking it. So just be aware, but it'll bring you into discomfort, but it'll also show you things you were avoiding.
Yeah, and I'll
Yeah.
add to that just to make it feel a little bit safer as well for the psyche, maybe is that like, show me what I don't want to see so that I can see that it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Hmm.
Because that's what
True.
the resistance.
And that's true. Yeah. I mean, that's ultimately where it goes for sure.
Hmm.
But you also can't, I'll add to what she added. You also, if you have too much of an agenda with it, then you're kind of, you can still dodge it a little bit because you're like, I'm doing this for relief, you know. Relief does come. I mean, it's absolutely true in the end, but the relief comes from going all the way down through it, in my experience, usually, you know.
Hmm.
So all those things we said kind of dial you into what we're pointing to, I think. Do you have a caveat to my caveat to your caveat, Maria?
Mm, no, that was a nice caveat. Yeah, I completely agree. Agenda-led stuff. I mean, the thing about it is too that like it's gonna happen,
Mhm.
and then you'll be like, I found the answer, and then life kicks your ass again, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
and that is it's like you don't have to go chasing it so much either. Like it'll, as
Hmm.
Yeah.
Angela says, it'll come up.
And
Yeah.
it's been fun getting my ass kicked a few times. So, or
Right. Yeah, yeah,
more than
yeah.
a few times.
And you survived every single one because you're here,
Yeah.
so that's good news.
Yeah. I can leave it there. Thank you both so much.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Dakota.
Yeah.
Good to see you. All right. Let's go to Lisa.
Hi, Angelo. Nice to see you again. Hi, Maria.
Good to see you.
So I have a couple of things. First, I want to kind of get a sense of where you think I am at this point. I go through these periods of I do shadow work every day, usually at nighttime, and I can rest in the I am sense for at least an hour, sometimes more, where I can feel really light, and it's so obvious, that I'm already awakened. I can feel that really, really deeply. I have these huge insights when I'm meditating. You guys have all had those, and you kind of laugh out loud because it's so obvious. And then I'll have periods where I'm in deep meditation where there's like I'm just falling backwards, and something is releasing, releasing, releasing. And then what I've noticed in the last 6 months is that my body has gotten really heavy, and I just feel like I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. Life is just so unenjoyable all the time. And then I flip to feeling so contracted that I kind of wanted to ask you about this derealization part of it too. I can feel so contracted that I literally feel like I'm a fake person, that I'm not even a person. I'm just like, it's so scary to actually look through that. It just through that lens. It's terrifying. And I've really noticed the resistance is so, like, I remember certain videos that you've talked about where you say that feel into the resistance. The resistance is so massive for me. I feel it in my body. I feel it in when I want to let go and I want to surrender. There's just this resistance is so deep. And I don't know how to get under that. And then it just flips back and forth from there. It's like I can, be so carefree and light and see things so clearly, and then the next minute it's just deep, deep, deep contraction and scary. Yeah. I can't hear you, Angelo.
Thank you. My bad. So
Sorry.
what you're describing in part of what you described does sound a bit like depersonalization, like a kind of dissociative thing. It's intermittent, it sounds like, and you kind of recognize what it is, and it's related to a contraction, probably related to a repressed emotional material, or probably related to some kind of trauma structure, and I'm sure you've gone through a lot of those and been through all that, but sometimes there's these deep ones that come up. This is why I sometimes say deep shadow process, because we get so far down into things that many people will go their whole life and not even know it's there. Like there's stuff that's so deep in us. So it feels to me like you're up against something like that. And by up against, I just mean it's working its way through. I don't know how long that's going to take. There are things you can do actively. There are things you can do a little bit more passively. But I have a couple questions. When you're feeling that super intense contraction, do you are you able to feel your body? Like, can you actually put your attention just into the felt sense, or no?
I don't feel very much in my body at all. I
Yeah.
mean, I had a 4 hour heart awakening, or heart opening. So I felt that bliss and everything, but I don't really feel a lot of my body. Yeah.
Okay. That's where we're going. So one way or another, we got to get you reconnected because that's what's allowing you to dissociate to that degree. Um, is there anything you can think of, just kind of casting a wide net right now? Is there anything you can think of that actually does get you a little more in contact with the felt sense, whether it's like massage, taking a bath, yoga, some kind of somatic practice, dance? Is there anything you do that actually seems to get you a little bit more in touch with just the felt sense?
This is I think I told you a few double barrels before this, that when I was 8 years old, I have came from ritualistic abuse in my life, so a lot of trauma. And I
Hmm.
had this what felt like a soul, like it felt like half my soul left my body. And ever since then, so I feel this derealization I felt my whole life since, and I'm
Yeah.
59 now. So but as I'm going through this process and when I'm meditating, and if I go really deep into meditation, that's when it's worse then, even though it
Yeah.
feels good in the moment. But as soon as I open my eyes, it's just like it feels like the walls close in and this doom, and it's awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you, uh, are you willing to go to like a circling event or a deep shadow process, like a group circling event?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll get you to one. That's going to be the number one thing I can think of that's going to be helpful here
Okay.
because it's comprehensive. We have time to really go deep into stuff. I have other facilitators we can all work together and stuff, and that's going to be really helpful.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, email me at angelo@simplyalwaysawake.com and just
Okay.
remind me of this right here, and I'll get you in. Okay.
Okay. Can I just ask one other quick question?
Yeah.
And it could just be a yes or obviously I think it's going to be a yes, but I just wanted to know how important inner child work is.
I think it's really important. Yeah. I'm right now writing about and doing these video series on the existential wounds. So you have betrayal is huge on your list, but you probably have half of them or more
Yeah.
based on your history. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Let me send you some stuff to read about. You want to read about it? The stuff I've
I'd
been
love
writing?
to. Yeah,
Okay,
I would.
I'll send you some. I'll send it through the little chat here.
Okay.
Okay. Take care of yourself and let's stay in touch and we'll get you somewhere. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll do some deep work. You're welcome. Yeah. Maria, what do you got?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, I really know what it feels like to feel unsafe in the body, so I really relate to what you're saying. And I think for me, it was also very much a thing of like having these kind of blissful experiences that then like were just so 180 degrees from the experience of them being kind of in my life again. And I almost want to say that, like, I brought it to a teacher once and I was like, why can't I kind of in that space? And it was like, oh, because kind of what the descent back into the states to kind of trust that we can kind of take that into the body as we start descending, and then just so much tender loving care for this organism that has had to hold itself together so tightly in order to survive, and just letting that take as long as it needs to take with as much gentleness as needed, like just showering yourself in that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We'll talk soon, okay?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Let's go to Kev.
Hey guys.
Hey, man.
Well, I think I had some questions, but over the course of this call, I've just been kind of feeling like fear rising up. Not really sure what it's about. Uh, the last couple days, like I went to talk with Alma in the Alma group, the Zoom group, which is very, very good. And I'd been feeling like intense just frustration. Like I don't really follow the fetters. I don't really do that per se, but I think I've seen some videos from you where you talk about if the eighth fetter falls, you feel like just like a rising up, like intense, like intensity. And I've been feeling that for a while. And I think I, I used to distract, but a lot of the distractions are gone. Like I don't really play video games or uh, I don't like to drink anymore or anything like that. Uh, but yeah, I guess I'm just confronted with that frustration or fear or just I don't know. Uh, and yeah, and then I really quickly bounce into my head, uh, like in the Alma group, she was like, "Oh, feel that," because I was feeling something, and then I kind of just froze up. And after a couple of minutes, I was like, a whole couple of minutes before, I was like, "I'm freezing right now." I was like, "I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong because uh, this, that, just constant thoughts." And I don't know what to do. I told her that too. I just don't know what to do. Yeah.
Okay. Maria, would you like to start or would you like me to?
I could start with that. I wonder what whether there's something in the mind that has defined awakening, or kind of some of the words that we hear in these spaces as something that's quite scary. And so that there's this kind of like one foot on the brake, one foot on the gas when it comes to approaching this kind of stuff. And maybe just worth looking like, yeah, is there what does it mean to you to to your mind to awaken? What does that to yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess if anything, to be alone. Um, because like the glimpses like seen before a while ago, like the first time I had I think a glimpse of any of this stuff, terrifying. Because it felt like uh, I don't know, but slowly like the fear, because I've had other glimpses like over the years, like they've happened, or I've done a substance or a psychedelic and had a glimpse or whatever over the years, and that fear response to whatever it uh is like much much lower now. Like the first time it happened, I was like, I'm just never doing that again, ever, never going there. And then but I kept getting pulled back in. And but yeah, I guess it's like an aloneness type thing
Yeah.
because like everyone else is just my perception of them is what I'm thinking of them. Uh, but I'm a lot more okay with that now.
Yeah, and I would even maybe like invite yourself to go even just look a little bit more into like what's scary about being alone? Where does that aloneness live in the body? And just kind of making friends with it. I think especially in those early experiences that feel really scary, there can just be a slight like almost like a traumatic thing that just holds things back a little bit and just kind of keep exploring like and also even what you just said like you gave evidence to kind of refute the first experience but kind of reminding yourself reminding your system of that on a you know like I do that a lot where it's like I'll be like because I've had a lot of I had a lot of really scary experiences initially when I was first on this path and so it's kind of like just reassuring the psyche, oh my gosh, like you're not going to be alone. This is not about annihilation. This is not about exile, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then that seems to have softened things a lot. So I don't know if that's helpful, but
No, definitely. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm a lot more okay with because I don't even know what it is, or I don't know if I'll be alone or not. I don't know any like I can't really conclude any of that. But uh, I do still experience fear. I think so. It's valuable to look into.
yeah, and also just also to not underestimate how like what the mind won't know, it usually projects as something terrifying. So like,
Yeah, that was the scariest part about it. Originally, was I
right.
was like that experience, and I was like, oh my god, no one exists at all, totally alone. But then over the years, I'm like, I actually don't know. I don't know anything like about that. I'm just concluding.
Well, exactly, and those are thoughts, right? It's like the
Yeah,
experience happens that's wordless and then the psyche comes back in gotta protect the organism I'm alone I can't be alone blah 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 and it's these like hardcore like really beautifully produced movies with massive budgets that are showing you like the hellscape you're going to be a part of and it's like you know kind uh of course it does that because it equates the mind equates that experience with death so it's gonna come ramping up really hard and so yeah, maybe that's
yeah.
just still a hangover of that, maybe.
But now I kind of want that because I'm so unsatisfied with life that and like I would never kill myself. I would never do that. It's not even an option for me. But like at times I'm like I don't even want to be alive anymore. And so this is like where I need to. This is the only place, the only answer. It feels like.
Hmm, that's interesting. Yeah. That still sounds like you like kind of like I just annihilate. Like I just want to not be here. And
Yeah,
I would say like it's actually in the inclusion and the tenderness of ourselves and the tenderness of our psyche and the just like, oh man, like that it's kind of turning towards ourself with a little bit more gentleness that eases those things rather than going gung ho for awakening because it's if it's going from that place it's essentially a bypass of the human experience when like the kind of the depth of awakening whatever you want to call it is actually full experience of life as it's showing up so it's kind of like I would say more about yeah
yeah,
how how can I make friends with that dissatisfaction a little bit rather than trying to yeah.
yeah. Because I do feel that. I feel like feelings over the days, weeks, etc. And I see that there's like a movement. I'm making a movement away from it. Um, I'm trying to move towards it, but there's so many ways where I think I'm distracting. Like even like trying to find like that's where that emotional response came from. Like sometimes in the past that's been helpful. Now I feel like I'm almost using that because like I felt something this morning while I was walking and I was like, where'd that come from? And it was like an instant like I don't want to feel that. Where'd that come from? Like an escape.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. And then, yeah, then like using the tools to make sure the thing doesn't come and it doesn't come. And if I just see through it enough, then I won't feel it anymore. I'll never be sad again. Like that's, that's kind
Yeah.
of, Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, well, in my experience anyway, it's like, oh, sadness is the doorway.
And that, yeah, but that's the where the frustration comes from, or like I was mentioning before, was I'm like, I'm doing all this wrong because all this like trying to find out where it came from. It's not gonna work. Like, uh, I'm literally just moving. I'm just not, I don't want to feel this. I just don't, and I don't want to deal with this, and I just want to be somewhere else. I want to be someone else, and yeah, I don't know, and it's like I can't do the one thing that like might help, which is just like to like sit there and like not do anything and like deal with it. I don't know. Uh,
Maybe it's much more gentle than that. Like maybe
hmm?
it's just like maybe it's more gentle than that too. Like maybe you're not doing anything wrong. Like maybe this is part of the unfolding of it too, right? Like and that kind of fundamental belief of I'm doing it wrong, that that's the lie.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Thoughts. I mean, I don't. I mean, it's probably not important to share, but thoughts just come up about that. You know, like, oh, like if that were true, like I wouldn't be feeling this. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's, yeah,
Right.
I
Like
think that's a dead end.
if I wasn't doing something wrong, I wouldn't be feeling like shit.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
feeling like shit is the evidence that I'm doing something wrong.
Right. I know that one. That's like in my top 10 as well. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I think it's just opening your heart maybe to the frustration, to that frustrated you who can't get it right. And it's just I always find like, and I think there's a love aspect and there's a wisdom aspect to awakening. The wisdom aspect is the clear seeing, and it's like it seems like you've got a lot of that. And then the love aspect is like, and everything is okay exactly as it is, and you're not doing anything wrong.
yeah. Um,
How does it feel for you to hear that?
I'm. I still feel like frustration. Um,
Is that okay
yeah. Um,
for now?
yeah. For now, yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
All we're ever dealing with.
yeah, yeah. I guess it's okay.
And only for now, right? We don't need to go there. That's just more thought shit. And we don't need to think about the 10 years of feeling frustrated either. It's just, is frustration okay right now?
Yeah, that's so tough.
It
Uh,
is.
yeah, but I think yeah, it is.
Hmm.
It's so quick to be like, but I've always felt this, or
Of
when's
course.
this gonna stop? Or
Of course.
what if it
My,
happens next week?
the mind's whole thing. Can't
Yeah,
keep doing that.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess I so I should just ignore thoughts.
I would, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ignore is feels quite aggressive again. Like it's like all these bad thoughts that are making my life hell. Uh, but if they are, if they feel true, investigate the truth of them. Like, have you ever done the work of Byron Katie? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I read her book a while ago. Looked into it.
It's a
Um,
really it's a really great way, like if there's just certain things that just feel absolutely true, to just take it through that process quickly or not quickly, whatever you want. That can be helpful to loosen things up a little bit, I find.
mhm. Speaking of that, real quick, I saw an Angelo video where he was like, it was about what thought to deal with. I think it was like, what thought am I avoiding? Like, ask that question, what thought am I avoiding? And so I did that for a bit. It seemed helpful. But then I thought, aren't there infinite thoughts? So like I could be sitting there for forever, being like, what's the next thought I'm avoiding? Or do you get to a point where, or am I only avoiding thoughts because, or are thoughts only a problem because there's like three I'm avoiding that I've been avoiding my whole life? Do you know what I
I
mean?
would I would say that there's generally a few that are the kind of humdingers that almost don't feel like thoughts. Like I'm doing
Okay.
something wrong, I bet, or like I'm doing something wrong, or I bet that almost doesn't feel like a thought. That almost feels like a fact, right? And
Yeah.
that's probably one of the thoughts that your identity formed around. So it kind of just feels like who you are. That would be a really interesting place maybe to have a look-see.
Yeah. I'll do that because I didn't see that one. Cool.
Right, right. Yeah.
Well, all right. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Nice. Thanks. Thanks,
Yeah.
Kev.
All right.
I really didn't have anything to add. The frustration was the thing that stuck out to me, and you all addressed it perfectly. The one thing I will say, Kev, watch this again. Actually, watch your whole conversation with Maria. It's really telling because the themes that just kept coming up are like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Doing it right? Doing it wrong? Doing it right? Doing it wrong? It's like doing, 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 doing. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? And a lot of times I was inclined to say like, you're not doing anything wrong or right. The thing sometimes we don't want to see is we're not in charge of this. Like that's the feminine aspect of just really surrendering, like just letting it take you, let it take you, and trust, like full on trust. But the opposite of that is the feeling of frustration, like no, I've got to get it right. But the funny thing is, that's a human thing. And as Maria said, there could be one thought, and it could be related to trauma or how your identity formed around that or whatever. That's like, I have to get it right. Like, maybe I was punished for not getting it right. Maybe getting it right was the one thing that got me validation through my entire life, whatever. This is just not that kind of thing. This is something so much more all inclusive that you don't have to get it right or wrong or any of it. You can actually relax into it. So that's all I had to say. We're going to go to Robin.
Hey, Angelo and Maria.
Hey,
I hope I'm centered in the screen all right, because I can't see
you look
myself.
great.
Thank you so much. Um, there is one emotion I've had. My whole life, I've not been really good at being in touch with my body, being in touch with my emotions. But one emotion that I've really understood my whole life and felt um, was embarrassment. And yesterday, I think I was watching one of your videos, and I just had this blinding um, realization that the common core of my work in a couple of circles now, and just what's in my consciousness, is I think I have my whole life I've been in fear of humiliation. I've had an event with my mom when I was 6 years old, 6 months old. And I always thought it was anger at my mother, but I think now I seem to realize that it was really feeling humiliated. And then another event, all those other two events in the 5-year-old range. And then another event about 3 years ago with a family member. And I really feel it's humiliation that I've never been in touch with before. But my question, I can tell that I'm emoting a little bit. But my question was going to be, it feels more intellectual. It's like I made this connection intellectually, and oh, it's a very the valence is very weak now, and it's nothing amazing that I feel like I have an intuition on how to work with. And it's palpable, and I know it's there, and it's something I need to touch. But in one way, I feel like I'm dismissing it a bit. And I don't know how to ask more than that. I don't feel like I've had my first awakening yet, my first fetter. I thought I had, but I think what they were peak experiences. And Craig was, thank you, Craig, for, I really enjoyed your contribution, your first contribution there. And I haven't gotten to Craig's point yet. So I don't know where to go at this point.
Yeah. Well, the fear of humiliation, right? As you were talking about that, you definitely started touching into something. What was that? What is the emotion, or what wants to be felt? That's it. Just feel it. Just feel it. Feel it on its own ground. Good. Mm-hmm. Feel it and be seen. You're being seen right now. Just feel it. Mm-hmm. Feel that it is exactly how it is. It knows what it is. Doesn't need to be repaired or fixed. It's like an energy. It's just
So
there.
it's been there a long time.
That's right. Feel how long it's been there. Yeah.
Been there a fucking long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let it be seen. Let it be felt by you and seen by the group. Right? Because humiliation, the fear of humiliation is the fear of being seen as you are, actually.
Hmm.
Right? If somebody humiliated you in I'll just say a toxic way or something, in an unkind way. If someone humiliated you in an unkind way, like family trauma, um, the connection that was made was being seen is humiliation, or being seen is dangerous, essentially. So you have an opportunity to actually go down into that feeling right now and just be seen. You're doing it already. Yeah, there you go. Let yourself be seen.
No, I think it's the humiliation of just being me. Just
Yeah, of course.
being
That's what
me.
you were taught. That's what you were taught, right?
And
The being you is
curious
humiliating.
and
Mm-hmm.
just having bowel movements and
Mm-hmm.
curiosity and playfulness and
Mm-hmm.
I they were squashed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they
Yeah.
weren't. I viewed it as being squashed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're human. Those things happen. Mm-hmm. And just be seen in your humanness. Be seen exactly as you are. Notice the tendency to brace. I can see it. Yeah, there's a tendency to brace. There's a tendency to bury it.
Yeah, because
Good.
I'm a
That's
big
all.
boy. I'm
Let
a
it all be seen. Let it all be seen. The tendency to brace and hide with it,
yeah,
and then the letting it back. Like you can feel it. It wants to come forward, right? Like it
it
has its
does.
own intelligence.
It does.
Yep. Let all of that be seen, just as it is.
Huh.
Hmm. And give yourself credit for letting it be seen. That's trust. Hmm. Let yourself feel exactly like you are. Feel the feeling of being you. There you go. That's it. All the things. There's all kinds of emotion in there. There's joy, there's frustration,
Yeah,
there's fear of humiliation. There's all those things. It's all in there.
aliveness.
It's aliveness. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's fucking just.
Hmm. And you're seen. Look
Why
at the
is that?
faces on the screen. Look at all the faces on the screen. Just see everybody and stay in touch with that feeling. Everybody's here with you. We're all here just holding space, neutral space. Hmm. Register in the body. It's safe to be seen. I promise you, there are other people going through exactly what you're feeling right now, just going through this process with you.
I don't
Hmm.
understand that whole being seen thing. That never made sense to me when.
Yeah, it's not about understanding at all. It's about feeling right here, what you've been feeling, and opening your eyes, seeing those faces. That's it. There's nothing to figure out. There you go. That's it. You're seen. You're seen. It's automatic. Being human, relational, supported. This is supported. Being seen, supported, not being seen through the lens of criticism.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. This thought just entered my mind. It's not so academic now.
No, there's nothing academic about this. It's a physical experience, visceral.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel your body? You feel your emotions right now?
I can feel my body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel any emotions. I feel warm,
Mm-hmm.
just warmth in the human warmth in the body, the
Okay.
respiration, the the metabolism. I can feel
Yeah.
that.
The aliveness.
Yeah, the aliveness.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you're in the right place right now?
Yeah,
Yep. Do you feel like you're hiding or masking
right now.
right now?
No,
Good. And do you
no.
see all those faces looking at you?
Yeah.
Good. And that's okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
I'll sign a release if you're worried.
There you go. It's that
Mm.
simple.
Okay.
Thanks for showing us you.
Thanks for pulling it out of me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going to go to, it says Zoom dash, starts with a G.
Is it me?
It's you.
Hi, it's Numi. It's strange that it's
Oh,
not
okay.
on my name. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I have a tendency to want to talk and then get up my hand at the end. I feel a bit emotional, really touched by the last person that talked. And so I don't really have a question, I think, but more, I guess, a desire to show up in this community. And the sentence that's coming up that's been just real game changer for me is that life is not about getting what you want, but wanting what you get. Um, and yeah, I guess I'm just gonna share. I'm kind of overthinking now what I should and shouldn't say, but I'm just gonna share what's on my heart. Um, so I guess it's been about 3 years into this on this path, and I've shared this here before that two of my sons are in severe addiction. And the youngest one has been in ongoing addiction. So he's been hospitalized for many, many times. And now since January again, I don't know how you say this in English, but it's like in a closed ward. So he's like, and it's like by a judge. So he's not allowed to get out. And it's been an extreme challenge. But what's been even more interesting for me is being on this path, that reminding myself of wanting what I get and not constantly wanting my sons to be healed or okay. Of course, I wanted, but just kind of seeing that the gift that they're giving me has been quite amazing in kind of feeling all the emotions of grief and despair and especially giving up the control. It's not been very long, but for a while now, I've really started to trust this medical team and not trying to think that I have to come up with all the solutions and and just being just being the mom and just being present. And it's like what I've experienced through this path, which has been really different from before, that I did a lot of shadow work and I was in the spiritual world and I did a lot of things around healing. And I still like the healing part. But what has changed for me, and I've seen through this whole experience with my children, is that it's getting me emotional, but it feels like a good emotion. But it's like really experiencing that life is just okay as it is. There's been many moments that I would, of course, I would love them to be better and not be an addiction. But it seems like this very strong controlling system in me that needed to change and that I needed to help them and I needed to get them out has kind of changed into something that really surprises me sometimes. Like I've checked it with Chris Gimmond, because I was pretty sure that I wasn't dissociating, but it was almost like I could be a happy mom and just really enjoying life besides of having a really challenging situation. Like Nathan has overdosed like about 5 times, which is pretty challenging. So I don't know if there's something else you can point me to or something that you can support me with. It's yeah.
Let me see if Maria has anything to say or whether I should or.
I'll just say I've been in a locked ward. So I've been on the other side of that in slightly obviously different circumstances. And so I just know that life needed to play its course and nobody could reach me like then. And that, yeah, that like just the care and the love that you're speaking about. I mean, I can really feel that and just want to honor that really, because the way that I experience my parents now and what they went through when I was in that situation, like I have nothing but gratitude. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add there was something at the end of what you were saying that's actually very remarkable, and I just want to validate it. It can sound very counterintuitive, but someone who's been into the depths of this situation you have been through for years with a loved one who is struggling in a very serious way, and that, with addiction or in other ways. And that is to come to a place where you actually can fully accept how they are, including not just flaws, but also even ways they harm themselves, and just come to a place of true acceptance and equanimity with it, even if it's heartbreaking. That's the hard part. If it's heartbreaking, you don't want to come to an equanimity with it. But you can actually come to equanimity and also feel that heartbreak of, and you're feeling a lot of it for them, like on their accord. But what you're not doing is rescuing in an unhealthy way, right? You're actually meeting them when you can meet them in their total desperation, in their total self-sabotage. That's an act of deep compassion. And again, it may sound paradoxical, but people who've been there understand this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best thing you can do for them is to fully accept them at every level. And you'll still respond when you can and to what degree is actually helpful, but you'll have some wisdom around boundaries and all these other things as well. Because this is their karma. They have to work through this karma. They have to work through what's going on with them, and holding neutral space is so much more powerful than most people realize. Seeing them, not running away, but also not getting entangled in it either. Does that register?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
It's just been surprising for me, and I've worked a lot with Christina, so that's been really, really helpful. just really seeing that when you start when I don't even feel like it's something that I did actively. It's been throughout this years just playing out that I'm not doing this controlling thing anymore, that
Mhm.
I'm much more aware now that I used to do this.
Mhm.
And it just brings me to this beautiful place where I'm not wishing this on myself, neither on my children, but it's like, and I can see it around me, when you really start accepting how life is, there's just such an openness to all experiencing.
Mhm.
And it's almost like I'm something I learned from Christina, to not having to like everything, which has been really nice for me. Like,
Yeah.
like I have these sad days, and I don't have to like it, and it's
Yeah.
okay. And that started to give such a relief, because I can feel that the big resistance was like, I have to be joyful and like it. And so discovering that awakening is not about having this bliss or being
Mhm.
in a happy space all the time, but my happy
Right.
space is being out of this constant resistance. And that's just, I mean, I don't know if I had to go through this big ordeal to find it out, but I did. So
Mm.
grateful.
Yeah. It's been a theme today with a lot of people. It's like you don't have to have your way in life. And I mean, you really don't, right? Life doesn't have to go the way we think it should. And I'm not saying that's easy. We have a lot of preconceived ideas and conditioned thoughts and beliefs that are so close that they feel like us about how things should be. But we really don't have to have things the way we want or expect them to be. And we also don't have to be in any state all the time, but certainly not some bliss state all the time. Like those things sneaking into our experience can cause an amazing amount of tension,
Hmm.
unnecessary. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, that uh, like I've also spent quite a lot of time in the healing spaces, and that feels like this kind of, I'm adding something, I'm adding a bliss, I'm adding a this, and it's interesting now. It seems like you're talking that it's like the dissolving of the thought structures and the beliefs, that the kind of more you can see through things, the more obviously openly you can sit with your children. And it's kind of something as well as like, it's like I don't have to believe what they believe about themselves either, kind of
Hmm.
thing. Because that's that root of addiction of just, I don't, it's different in everyone, but this kind of, and all the trauma and all the kind of unworthiness that comes from it. And it's like the clearer we are, the less we're trying to be blissful, the more it's like, oh, I can just see through. It's a very simple thing. Just keep seeing through everything. And then really, I don't have to believe their thoughts either. And there's something in that space that is just so uh, precious and warm and intimate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
all. Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Bye.
Okay. We have one more person, and the time is perfect for it. We have Campbell.
Thanks, Angelo. Thanks, Maria.
Hello.
Really nice to be here. Um, yeah, I raised my hand because I have a lot of resistance to raising my hand. It was just like so clear to me that, I mean, it's a pattern I've been working through in larger groups when I don't have a question that's clear. Um, and then as soon as I did it, I could feel fear-like sensations, like I can feel the mind wants to label it like, oh. And I kept looking. I'm like, okay, well, where are the thoughts? What are the beliefs that this isn't okay? And it's just not conscious. It's like I can't find any conscious thought, but the body's like, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. That's the thought about the body kind of like feeling shaky. And that's all I can find. Uh, and it's confusing. Yeah, I'm tired of holding back.
Mm.
It's like I don't want that pattern to hold me back from connecting. I see how it holds me back.
How do you feel most connected? Or
Right now.
when do you feel most connected?
Mm. I mean, I feel most connected in a one-on-one environment
Mm,
or with nature
mm,
or by myself.
mhm. And do you feel connected with yourself?
Mm, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, like in this very moment, I feel this like noticing of you and feeling like, oh, it's just this. Like
Hmm.
there's no difference. There's no
Hmm.
group. There's no like all
Yeah.
that sort of disappeared for a moment. And I was like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, it's all the same.
Hmm.
Very
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. That's right.
So there's some structure. I can feel it kind of creeping in again of like, no, but
Mm.
it's not. Like there's something really dangerous.
Hmm. And so you know that's a thought, of course, right?
I know it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just notice that structure, whatever it's doing, and kind of more at like energetic level, just let it do whatever the hell it wants to do? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of dancing like
yeah, yeah. No resistance needs to be added. You move very much in the feminine aspect, and that's your strength. Um, yeah, it's very fluid. This, yeah, and more fluid, the more fluid it becomes, the more it feels like love, a love for experience, including any whatever thought structure seems to be appearing or not appearing. It's more like just it's like natural exploration and curiosity, right?
It is actually the the impulse that made me push the raised hand. What happened in that moment was Maria talking about the warmth, and I was like, "Oh, the warmth." And then something just appeared, so it just tickles me that you're
Oh,
saying that.
love it.
Yeah.
Maria, can you tell us more about warmth?
Warmth is. Um, I'll tell you though, I've been sitting here with like a parched mouth, feeling like nervy AF the whole time I've been sitting here. I was feeling it before the call, it started yesterday. I have notes that I haven't looked at, but I needed my like emotional support notes. And it's like what I could have offered you right now is like, oh yeah, you can kind of think like what are the thoughts that are, what's the worst thing that could happen sitting here? What's the blah? And it's like, but in the kind of directness, it doesn't, it's just here, like it's just allowed. It's just allowed. Like we're of course it's allowed. We're like these multifaceted organisms responding to all of our conditioning, everyone else's conditioning. And yeah, that's all I got.
Hmm.
I'm a wreck too. Not that you're not that you're saying you're a wreck, but it's all good.
I'm appreciating it's like I can just be in the energetics of it, and that's just I feel like that's just what's needed. It's like that's the impulse is like to ride out the energetics,
Hmm.
and that's it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
all
why
energy.
that's why some people go on roller coasters to feel this. It's
Mm.
like
Oh, I don't need that.
some people pay
I've
good
got an
money for
inner roller
this.
coaster. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, what you said resonates so deeply. Ultimately, it's all energetics. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Um, hmm and it's felt so viscerally. And the if anyone's going, what the hell is Angelo talking about with energetics? The portal is always, always, always vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just a willingness, surrender. However you want to, whatever word you want to use. It's a felt experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel,
I don't
ooh,
need to
oh,
know. I don't need to know better than this. I don't need to figure this out. I don't need to get somewhere. It's like just horizontalizing the mast of the ego, letting reality show you what it is.
yeah. Yeah. I feel the energetics just completely shifting
Hmm.
and
Yep.
so just like stepping into the flow and Let
You got
go.
it.
I
Speaking my
feel
language now. That's why the way I responded to you, I don't even know what I said. I don't remember what you asked actually, but it was energetic. That was exactly, I'm just looking at you, and that's kind of what I pointed to or whatever, because I can see it very clearly in you or through you or whatever. But you have that access. That's why I said you have at least in this moment, like my experience is very, very much like a very fluid feminine energy. Um, yeah, it's it's so all encompassing and adaptable and fluid, and it is a surrendered energy. But in its surrender, it's also everything. It's
Yeah, I
very
feel, I mean,
powerful,
it
very
just feels
powerful.
like everything. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's it.
Is it so sweet too? So sweet. Like we're so sweet and cute and lovely in all those vulnerable, like, oh,
Mm,
yeah,
hmm. So innocent.
yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Appreciate you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Okay, well, that concludes our double barrel. Maria, I have a video where if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. I interview Maria. We put some of her music in there. The first time I saw her, I think she commented on my channel or something, but I clicked on her videos and she has some really cool music videos. Check those out. I'll put all the links under this video in the description so you can find her stuff, including her video where I interviewed and her other stuff. And anything else you want me to share about you, Maria?
I do have a website that I know sometimes work one-on-one with people if they resonate and just for a chat. I don't claim to have any special knowledge, but more just kind of my, yeah, we do inquiry together or whatever. Um, yeah, but thanks so much for having me. This has been like really beautiful. And
You were fabulous. You did an awesome job. Very right on the money. It's like
thanks.
dialed in, finger on the pulse. It was great. So I appreciate you.
I tried really hard.
You did awesome. Okay, everybody. Thank you all. Thanks for your support. And we'll do this once a month, and we do a live through YouTube once a month as well. And Alima does a live Q&A once a month now for all the sustaining members. So appreciate y'all and have a fabulous weekend.